Friends, poetry lovers all over the world, this is Professor Syed Amiruddin, your well-known poet in English, speaking to you all. Friends, thank you for showing such an overwhelming love on me. Also friends, I thank you for such a huge response appreciating my video message on mysticism and Sufism and a poem on pilgrimage last week. Thanks a lot for all the affection once again you have shown on me. Friends, this is our fourth series of poetry recital session. Well friends, my main intention is to keep you all engaged in some aesthetic activity wherein you will be transported into the realm of gold during this coronavirus drudgery. Okay? Therefore friends, in this fourth series, I thought of sharing some of my views on what is good poetry and what are the attributes that makes one a great poet. Friends, all of you are aware that India is known from time immemorial for its cultural and rich literary heritage. Thiruvalluvar, Alvar and Kalidasa, to mention a few great in our ancient literature. Well friends, now I would like to tell you how many types of poets are. I would like to tell you how many types of poets are there. This was clearly written in our ancient literary books. Now friends, there are four types of poets. Asukavi, the spontaneous poet. Madhurakavi, one whose words are pleasing. Vistarakavi, one whose poetry is elaborate. Chitrakavi, one whose words come together to form the image. Friends, Thirumangai Alvar could compose in all four genres and therefore called Nalu Kavi Perumal. That is the greatness of this great genius from India. Further friends, Thirumangai Alvar's work deals with philosophy and also describes the Lord's attributes. Such is the greatness of some of our classical poets. Well friends, now let me tell you what makes a poet great or a universal in appeal. Well friends, I have already told you that poets are the conscience keepers of their times and have a role to play in the maintenance of peace and harmony. Further friends, the poet has to raise his mind and his piercing eye into the white radiance of super realities. And also friends, the present day poet must vision and prevision the mathematics of futurity in their verses. And friends, a poet must realize that he exists from moment to moment and he justifies every moment he lives. Next friends, as I have already told you that poetry to me is revelation, exploration, discovery and illumination. its values extended to eternity. Well, friends, some of my critics have said, at times, Sayyad's poetry is highly subjective and lyrical. He celebrates love in the convention of Kalidasa and sometimes in the vibrant vicissitudes of Khalil Gibran and Rumi. Friends, to illustrate this, I would like to recite few lines from my poem, A New Love. Here I go. Please listen. When we sat face to face, we are like the waves, gently marching towards the eye of the storm. When we close our eyes, we descend the crumbling staircase to oblivion. A new day breaks from visual rhapsody, a gesture, a whisper, a new dawn dances. Well, friends, in yet another place, my critics have said, Sayyad's poetry will find in him a happy confluence of thought profundity, verbal ecstasy, visual beauty, and imagistic delicacy. Now, friends, to illustrate this, I would like to recite a few lines from one of my poems. Here I go. Please listen. Dark night reaches the dawn. Midnight terror merges into mellowness. The trance comes to a poise. Fragrance of ecstatic dream remain fresh, lingering and lilting down the memory lane. Reminded the magnificent moon of Buddha Purnima. Reminding the magnificent moon, the Buddha Purnima. Well, friends, in yet another place, one of my critics has said, like Blake, Sayyad merges spiritual vision and poetry, feeling the joy of being, the joy of supreme. Then, friends, so far I have shared with you what some of my critics have opined about my poetry. Well, friends, my main purpose today's poetry recital session is particularly to share my poetic feelings with you all. Friends, as a poet, during this lockdown period, I went contemplating about things which were connected with our everydayness. Ultimately, these concerns of ours will lead to the path of nowhere and only despair persists. Then, friends, the mystic in me came to the fore and took me to the world of oblivion and then slowly to the many-splendored doom. Finally, the devotion and the love in me could perceive the resplendent you, the divine, the ultimate reality. Well, friends, when I opened my eyes from the trance, emotions gushed forth from my heart. The result is this spectacular outpour, an ecstatic thunder of poetic felicity. That is the poem which I wrote. Friends, Now it is for you to enjoy this spiritual serenity. The title of the poem is Love for You. Love for You. Now I am going to recite the poem. Please listen to me carefully. Okay? Love of you. What devotion you love, hardly anyone knows. To love you and to no one else. I know that is the deterrent dot that delights you fluorescent. I do not know why I get engrossed in empty shrieks of vanities, of delectable daydreams, of lurid everydayness. I am dazed and dazzled with dizzy mirth of delirium in CV soul's symphony to sing the glory of my love luminous and desire to escape into the airy ecstasy to dissolve into a tumultuous trance, to evaporate into a nymphy naked wonder of vivacious eloquence, to receive the purple grace of thrall and to be engulfed in the ravishing glory of bliss of my blighty benign beckoner. O my deluding divine light, my radiance all resplendent, root of all souls illumined, gurgle me in the abyss of serene love of you. Aghast, unable to unravel the piety puzzle, I will and will, with the woe of sanguinity, to the crumbling cognition of a crystal maze. Why my enigmatic being in dreary delusion of a oracle-like smokescreen, a lilting lotus layer between me and the divine, ends, delirious divine flashes flickered in me inane to the scintillating smithereens. Then I roll and re-roll in a moon-blank spiral space to decode the mystic game of dissolving the I into the divine, the fana, fana, fana. And thus touch the moment eternal, breathing the divine light of bliss. Then I drown in mirage rhapsodies into the ocean of light. The vibrant divine within me blazes, sparkles of spiritual spheres, flowery floats, mysterious mirths. At that pulsating purple sojourn, I shrill a shiver. Oh Master, oh Master, what is this blazing brilliance? A lightning reverie, a awesome illumination, light upon light, light within light, a rambling realm of resplendent. Then the titillating stars of transcendence glimmering around my crispy canopy thundered deep into my shimmering soul. The tilty lilt, the lingering lilt, white, blue, white, red, green, white, infra flurry, fiery rays of raiment, in rays rattled, in myriad melodies. At last, wisdom oozed from the opaque origin. The metaphysical gong gleamed a green lamp. The precinct perception of perilous game of love, the love of you, the mesmerizing, mellowed, mystic mantra. Oh, mantra of me in you, you in me in you, you in me. Rest, bliss, bliss. Ananda, Ananda. Friends, thank you. Now, friend, think for a while. Soft symphonies linger in your ears. And also, friends, who knows? This spiritual experience will certainly arouse such delicate feelings in all of you. To forget and get over from the disgusting thoughts of coronavirus. Friends, as you know, there is divinity that shapes our ends. Hopefully, divinity knows when to dispel this agony. Hope for the best. Have faith in the divine. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Hope to meet you all in our next recital session.